Jody. Mad Love Concepts says, do we know if the early church worshiped in a similar way to how we have corporate worship today? And the answer to that is difficult. I don't know for sure. There's like little. Let me just say this: like the lack of the sound equipment and the fact that they were meeting in like local more smaller group meetings in many cases implies that they would not have had such entirely stage focused content, but they did have speakers. There were specific speakers. It does seem that in their worship, there was more activity from the congregation than we have in a typical church service today, where we have almost everything happening on the stage. Yeah, we have speakers, but we also just have like worship, announcement, speakers, like the only discussions happen on stage. And then a lot of people come and then leave without participation, other than maybe singing. But it seems like the early church was more open to a lot more interaction and dialogue that went on during the service, but not interrupting, hopefully, the message part. So it'd be good if we have more of that, I imagine. And some churches try to incorporate this more, they do, and they're working at it. Pastors trying to ask questions and give opportunity for open prayer and things like that. They did sing, they sang hymns, they sang songs. This was like a normal part of the church service, I think, as scripture indicates when it's in Ephesians, when it talks about us singing hymns and songs and making melody in our hearts to the Lord, that this is like a normal thing. But there was openness to more participation probably than what we typically have in our church services. Did it have a liturgy like we often do, at least in evangelical churches, where it's like opening worship, announcements, maybe some more worship, and then like the message and then a closing song? We don't really know what the order of service was like. And I'm going to argue that maybe that's because we should have flexibility on these things and we shouldn't be dogmatic about it. And be like, yeah, look, just the one criticism I'd have for in general is that we probably should have more involvement, individual involvement in normal church services than we do. And I'm not even sure how to accomplish that, because in our culture, we get a little weird about that. So it makes it harder. But I wouldn't be dogmatic about it either. Just giving you my own personal preference there. Interesting thought, something worth studying more of, looking at, scriptures that deal with it in detail.